Welcome back to News 3 Today. Written from his own experience of growing up in the South, Antwan Eady's newest children's book, The Last Stand, is a love letter to black farmers that explores how the land and its riches bring joy to the community. He joins us now with more on the book. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for this very important books, especially at this day and time. But I want to, before we talk about the book, I want to let you know what Publishers Weekly said about your book. It said that this book has an intergenerational story that hints at larger socio-political issues. Did they hit the nail on the head?
Absolutely, absolutely. The story on the surface level, again, this is the book that's illustrated by Jared and Jerome Pumphrey. On the surface level, it's a story about a granddad, a grandson, and their last stand at the farmer's market in a community that needs them as much as they need that community. But in the backdrop, you'll see the larger issues that black farmers have faced in America.
Now, you grew up just across the river. You mentioned that to me before the show. You're from Garnett, South Carolina,
Yes.
a farming community.
Yes.
Your upbringing had a lot to do with the inspiration behind this book.
Absolutely. This book has been called an ode to, as well as a eulogy for, black American farms. And it's true because we don't see it as often as I did growing up, but we were a self-sustaining community where we didn't have a grocery store that we could walk to or drive to within 15 or 30 minutes. So what we did as a community was someone grew watermelons, someone grew sugar canes, someone had eggs, and we kind of continued to look out for the community in that sense. If we weren't on the side of the road, then we were at a convenience store. If we weren't at a store, then we were driving around the neighborhood to see who needed what.
Now, let's talk about the numbers because according to the USDA, around 1% of farmers in America identify as black. A stark decline from the 1920s where there were more than 1 million black farmers in this country.
Absolutely. And a good reason for that is because of the USDA's discrimination toward black farmers and unfair practices when it came to giving out loans, administering those loans. And today we see those numbers and it has drastically changed. And this is also my way of saying thank you to the farmers that remain and apologizing for the farmers that aren't with us anymore.
Because when you ask children what they want to be when they grow up, you know, I've never heard a child say, I want to be a farmer.
Right. Right.
And that's a big part of that issue.
Yeah, and this is one of the things I've done in my first book, Nigel and the Moon, illustrated by Gracie Zhang, was I wanted to highlight ordinary people doing extraordinary things. In that book, I highlighted our postal workers as well as commercial truck drivers. In this book, I want young dreamers to know that it is aspirational to say, I want to be a farmer, because we need our farmers. We've seen it in 2020 when we relied even more heavily on our farmers, and I want them to have those dreams as much as they want to be surgeons and lawyers and, you know, and other doctors, right? I want them to say, I want to be a farmer because we need it.
Now we have less than 1 minute to go, but we cannot let you go without talking about the illustrators of this book. You talked about them a little in the beginning.
Yeah, oh my gosh, Jared and Jerome Pumphrey, a talented duo that I am lucky to work with. I dreamt of working with them one day, did not expect it to happen this early in my career. They're a brother duo from Texas with ties to farming as well, and they're amazing. These illustrations are made from handmade stamps that they then put on, they will be able to talk about it better, but they put on this sheet that then became more digital, what we see here, but everything's handmade initially.
All right, I'm so excited to read this book, but let's let people know where they can find this book. You are having a book launch tomorrow, 4 p.m. at E. Shavers in Starland. That's at 1921 Bull Street, with a special guest master, sweetgrass basket weaver, Jerry B. Taylor. And then next week, January 31st, you'll be at the Storybook Shop in Bluffton. That's at 41 Calhoun Street A at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely.
With a special performance by Aunt Pearlie Sue and the Gullah Kinfolk.
Absolutely. There's a beautiful mention of sweetgrass baskets in here, so I want to pay homage to the Gullah Geechee community.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and much success on this second book.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.